There's no secret that chocolate and pear go so well together. So I'm going to take the theme of the poire belle Hélène, which is a very classic dessert of pears that have been poached and then smothered in a chocolate sauce, and transform this into a really interesting, very different dessert using cacao and this really delicious nut and chocolate spread. These are my crunchy whole pears that have been baked in the oven. Now, before I get onto the pears, I want to prepare my cacao. If you haven't worked with cacao before, I highly recommend it. Have a look at this. It looks like a big nest of threaded pastry, and the trick here is not to be too delicate. You need to untangle it a little bit like it's a big glob of matted hair, and I need about 200 grams for 4 pears here. Now I'm going to place this into a bowl, and I'm going to add some butter now so it goes nice and golden brown in the oven. So just drizzle some butter over, not too hot, and some flavouring. So a little bit of cinnamon, about half a teaspoon to a teaspoon, and some sugar. And again, this is going to help make it golden brown and really crispy. So about 1/4 cup there. And then get your hands in here and massage all of these flavours in and around the different strands. So see how there's a lot of butter just here? We don't want that. We just want it to lightly coat the individual pieces of pastry there. Right. Now that that's done, we can use that in a moment. We can get on to the pears. Now, I've just peeled and taken the core out of some Beurre Bosque pears. I like Beurre Bosque pears. They hold their shape really nicely after they've been cooked in the oven. So I'm patting them dry, just getting rid of any excess moisture. I've pre-done these and I've placed them in a bowl of acidulated water. Acidulated water is just some water that has some lemon in them, just to ensure that they don't oxidise and go brown. Now that I've done that, we can smother this in chocolate and nutty spread. This is so yummy, and it's a really fast dessert, as you can see. So I'll just get a spatula. And then this is a little bit messy. You can get the kids involved here because it's quite fun. And we're just pasting and spreading this nut spread over the pears. Now, it doesn't have to be perfect, but you do want to make sure that most of the pear is covered with this. And a little bit over this side. Perfect. So once that's done, we can start wrapping these pears in the cinnamon pastry. So I'll just move that to the side, give myself a bit more space. I'll get a little bit of this cacao and just break it off with your hands and arrange it onto a board into one long rectangle. And then place the pear in the centre and then wrap it around the pear. Just like, it looks like cobwebs almost. Perfect. That's the first one done. It looks very unattractive at the moment, but I tell you what, this is going to taste spectacular. So I'm going to finish wrapping the 4 pears and then into the oven, 200 degrees, so really hot to start with, for about 15 minutes. And then I'm going to drop the temperature to 160 to cook it for another 10 minutes. I do this because I don't want the pears to overcook. These are a thing of beauty. Have a look how crispy and crunchy they are on the outside. It looks like a woven cocoon with that phyllo pastry, and you can see the chocolate's just poking out. I love this recipe. Now I'm going to add a little bit of creme anglaise. I love creme anglaise and it goes so nicely with this. This is homemade creme anglaise, and I'm just going to put a pool of that in the centre there because it goes so well with this. And then I'm going to take this really crispy golden one and place that in the centre of that creme anglaise. You know, in terms of complexity, this is low on the scale. This is not hard to make at all. You just need good quality chocolate spread, some of the cacao, and of course some delicious pears. This is a wonderful dessert to do in autumn. It's got everything that I love in this. I can't wait to dig into it. And you have to eat them hot. When they're nice and warm is best with cold custard. Yum!